Hello everybody and welcome to Sin City Living. My name is Jason. I'll be bringing you today's episode. As always, we want to thank all of our fans, our sponsors, our patrons. We appreciate all of your guys' support. Everyone that's bought us a cup of coffee, been greatly appreciated. We've had a rough couple of weeks here in the family, been out of work for a week and a half, coming up on 2 weeks thanks to our old friend COVID running through us. I don't want to take up a whole lot of time with the usual spiel, so all of you guys that are interested in what's going on with Sin City Living and what we plan on doing in the future with our live streams and upcoming events, please stick around to the end of the video or skip to the end of the video and watch. I will put most of that stuff in the ending spiel, and I will try and update it every week or two with more news. Otherwise, that being said, we're just going to go ahead and jump straight into today's video. So for today's video, I want to answer an email from John. And John is sending an email asking questions about tipping and how to toke the dealers, or rather, what the dealers prefer. So let's take a look and see what he's saying. So he asks what is actually preferred. Is, option one, giving you $5, having you go ahead and drop it into your toke box right away, or betting, say, $4 or $6, betting some numbers for the dealers, maybe give them a 6, 8, 9 or something like that. Of course, player control, so we can press it up a little bit, which of course has the potential of nothing going into the box, or say two-way betting somewhere else during the play, such as say two-way bets on hardways. Dropping a toke after winning hands as a percentage of the winnings, or dropping a single larger toke as you leave for the session. It's complicated. It's complicated. Kind of like one of the other videos that we shot where we talked about how it seemed like everything was a yes or no. It's definitely, that's a complicated subject. It very much is. It can vary depending on the dealers. There's some things that I would say are commonalities that tend to be the majority of the dealers will look at things the same way. And that's how I'm going to present it today, as the things that I know that the majority of the dealers will look at. There will, of course, be the exceptions, of course. The first thing I will say is most dealers are by nature gamblers, either gamblers or former gamblers. And generally, they're going to prefer to be in on the action. Prefer to be in on the action because it gives us more stake in the game and it makes it more interesting to us. We're doing the same thing every single day, all day, for hours on end. And having a stake in the action makes us feel like we're part of the game and feels like we're playing as well. And especially on player control place bets, because oftentimes the players will turn the control over to us, which then gives us the ability to basically play the game. The other side of it too is, $1 and $2 bets, $1 or $2 tokes. You got to keep in mind when you throw the $1, and every dollar adds up. And I've always said that in any given casino, in every casino that I've been to, if every dealer stepped up their game just the tiniest bit in their customer service, that they would all make an extra $20, $30, $40, $50 a day easily. All based off these little $1 tokes that get thrown in. But in general, especially on the craps table where the tokes are extremely low, craps does not generate a lot of tokes. They tend to look at that dollar. If we drop that dollar into the toke box, we know that we just made approximately maybe a half a cent, a quarter of a cent, something along those lines. So of course we would rather have it. They'd rather have it bet, rather have it, take the attempt to increase it. Plus, most dealers actually prefer to make money when the player makes money. Now, when you start getting into the green, and I've seen it, I've seen players, super generous players. I saw a guy one time that every single toke for the dealer was a green chip. Every single one of them. And very frequently, they always bet. He always bet them. And for 2 hours straight, we lost every single one of them. He would have toked us about $500. Actually, if we'd have won, we would have won well over 1,000, and we ended up dropping nothing into the toke box. Once we get into the greens, then the dealers are generally going to prefer that we were dropping these directly into the toke box, or at least a 50-50. A 50-50 on that one. You know, bet some of it, drop some of it. Two-way bets elsewhere, those are kind of a double-edged sword. They're fun to see, like a two-way 12 or, you know, two-way hard-way, stuff like that. Hard-ways are fun if you make them parlays, but two-way bets in there, they have such a low percentage chance of hitting that the dealers, we appreciate it, and it's exciting when it hits, but when we have those bets, aside from the hard ways, we're really not that invested in it because we know that the chances are it's not gonna hit. There's such a low percentage chance of it hitting that we're really not thinking about it. People bet it, hey, thank you very much for the bet, sir, and we just move on because we know it's probably not gonna hit. Dropping a toke after a winning hand, that yes and no. On this one, and this one I can't say what most dealers will do because this just doesn't come up that often for it to be something that the dealers really talk about, that I see a lot of the same, I guess, reflexive preference. But you know, I've seen players that after they win one pass line bet with odds, after that they start putting the dealers on the pass line and then giving them some odds, and that's awesome. You know, the dealers definitely appreciate that. We definitely love that. You know, when you win your pass line bet and odds and to throw a couple bucks into the toke jar, it's appreciated. We would prefer it generally to be on the pass line. You know, generally be right there, because again, you're getting down. You know, when you're talking about, you know, just a few bucks, we'd rather just bet it. We'd rather bet it and see if we can increase it. Plus, again, gives us a little bit more buy-in into the game, and it also generally those kind of bets also help the dealers, I guess, connect with the players, talk with the players, and develop a rapport with the players. Now, when we're talking individual bets that hit big, for instance, you know, somebody has a $100 hard 8 and it hits and they get paid their $900. That is one definitely where the dealers would certainly appreciate having a toke drop to them. Absolutely, 100%. When it comes to dropping a single larger toke as you leave for the session, that also really depends. Some people that have that plan in their head, they will end up losing all their money. So they will never toke. They'll be way ahead, so they're, oh yeah, I'll give you guys your tip at the end, and then they give all their money back, and they end up not toking the dealers at all. Generally, when I play, I actually have one spot on the rail that I keep aside, and that's where I'm putting dealer money, and I'll use it for bets on them and bets for them around the table. And if I'm just getting beat, then that's what I'll throw into them as I'm leaving. The downside to doing it that way is that the dealers could assume that you're not going to tip them, especially if you've been playing for a long period of time and you haven't done any tokes for them. So, and again, the dealers generally prefer to be in the game as we're going. So, you know, that's those individual things. That's how I would tend to look at them. We do, of course, appreciate the fact that the players want the money to actually end up in the toke jar. That's very important for us as well. But again, craps just does not generally make much money. Every so often we have a player that will treat the dealers really, really well. But in general, craps that just doesn't make a lot of money. It just doesn't. It's the speed of the game and such, and how few hands you get per hour per minute in comparison to, say, blackjack or something like that affects it. So I hope this answers the question, John. Thank you very much for sending it to us. We appreciate you. We will catch you guys next time. Bye now. Okay, everybody, and as promised, all the usual blah blah that I try and do at the beginning of the video, we're going to go ahead and put near the end of the video. And here we go. So thank you, everybody, for your usual patronage, all of you that are patrons of ours. We very, very much appreciate it. Thank you, everybody who's been buying us a cup of coffee. Love to say it's going to coffee right now, but this month with the entire family out for COVID, it's honestly going to Bill's and probably the kid's birthday in a week. But we definitely appreciate it. We're going to continue working on these live streams. I know you guys have seen some of them popping up. Just got to figure out the look of it, and some of the audio is still giving me issues. But hopefully we'll be getting those live streams and the craps tournaments going as soon as possible. Really just going to depend on scheduling. My schedule changed, Amy's schedule changed, kids' school schedule is fun. So once we figure out exactly how all those schedules are going to work, we'll let everybody know. And otherwise, please continue emailing us with anything you would like to see videoed. And again, thank you everybody for tuning in. We appreciate every single one of you guys. We'll catch you next time. Bye now.